Today's Time for All Ages is a midrash from pagan scripture. Midrash is a Jewish tradition. It's an interpretive act seeking the answers to religious questions, both practical and theological, by studying and interpreting the meaning of scripture. There are two types of midrash: the type that studies law and religious practice, and the type that explores questions of ethics and theology. You can guess which type today's story is. Pagan scripture is a mixture of things and a variety of things depending on which traditions you're talking about. But generally, indigenous people and people who claim the label pagan look to community, the world of nature, and to the lived experience of the divine, however we understand it. Today's scripture is a resurrection fern. Most plants and animals rely on water and can't survive losing 20% or even 10% of their water. The resurrection fern, on the other hand, it's an air plant, an epiphyte. It lives on trees in warm areas. Now, it's not a parasite, it just sits there on the branch. It has special superpowers. It can survive drought. It can survive losing 10%, 20%, even 97% of its water. When it doesn't have water and it's suffering, it curls up and it looks dead, but the leaves curl up with the undersides out. Now, how do they do that? It does this because of a protein called dihydrins. There's dihydrins on the undersides of the leaves that make them elastic, able to bend without breaking. The underside of the leaf is where the water is absorbed. So it looks all but dead, but it's also open to any moisture that might happen along. As it dries, it curls up, stretching with the superpowered dihydrins, and then the underside, that tender, vulnerable underside, is exposed and it is ready. So when the rains come, the plant drinks up and rebounds to its former fluffy, radiant green self.